Hello, Cherif Medawar here, and I want to share with you the 10 type of people you want to avoid. Knowing who you're going to avoid and how to avoid them is going to save you a lot of problems. Like Einstein said, solving problems is a great thing, avoiding them is genius. So we want to actually avoid the problem people. And I'll give you 10 type of problem people. Whether it's your business or personal life, those are the type of people you want to avoid. Number one, negative people. They're negative and argumentative. They are always afraid and they try to make you afraid. He who tries to make you afraid is not your friend. It's somebody who's scared, doesn't want you to succeed, so they try to block you. You say, I'm going to buy this property, the market is going to go down. I'm going to get a loan, it's not good to get loans. Anything you say, anything you're going to do, they have an angle to actually shoot it down as if they're coming in with the answers. They want to be actually smart about it by being too skeptical. Yes, be a bit skeptical, but you got to know what you're getting into. And if the person you're with is constantly stopping you, know how to present your ideas to them if you're living with them, or just avoid them completely, because you don't want somebody who is negative and is going to sour anything you're going to do, is going to create doubt in your mind, and you want the least amount of doubt so you have all the energy to move forward and make things happen. Number two, the person who is anxious and desperate. Let's do this. We need to do something. We need to do it right away. That's when their actual judgment goes down, and once judgment goes down, ability to perform, the skill level goes down, and you're not able to execute. You don't want people who are too anxious or too desperate, because they're going to cause you problems. If somebody's desperate, avoid them. Avoiding them is best. Number three, the unlucky person. An unlucky person is going to tell you their stories about how bad it has been for them. They loaned somebody money, they didn't pay them, or they lost their wallet, and then they had a flat tire. It's just always getting problems, how unlucky they are. But it really goes down to, number one, they are doing bad judgments. They are making bad decisions. They're taking wrong choices. They don't know how to analyze. They don't know how to observe to actually make their life better. These type of people have bad judgment, low skills, and a history of loss. When you sit with somebody and tell them a little bit about how the world is unfair, see if they're going to connect with that. And if they're going to start telling you what happened to them. They're not going to take responsibility. They're not going to be in control. They don't have the knowledge. You need knowledge, responsibility, and control to get things done. And the person who's going to blame it on luck is somebody who doesn't even understand how life works. Avoid that person. Number four, if they're too slow. Have you ever talked to somebody and they don't process? They just don't process. Yes, they may be English is their second or third language or whatever, but they just don't grasp the subject matter. They have low comprehension. You talk too fast, they're like, you lost me at when you said, see, they're stuck with the nomenclatures, with the word definition. They don't even understand what you're talking about because their mind is stuck. They don't have the actual basic knowledge of the subject matter. A lot of people are actually slow. They have low energy, and with low energy, you can actually predict easily that there will be low activity. They're usually easily overwhelmed, like too many things coming to their mind quickly because they're not able to process them and digest them, so they get confused. These type of people will create problems. If you delegate something to them, it's not going to get done. It's going to get stuck because they're even trying to figure out what you're trying to tell them. You tell them go right, they go left. The person tells you I'm going left, you say right. They go right and say no, I was saying yes, correct. They're totally confused. They're low energy and low processing ability to get anything done or understood. Number five, insolvent people. Those who are overwhelmed with debt, constantly overborrowing, thinking they can pay 14, 15% interest, trying to actually get things done in a very fast period of time. So what ends up happening is they have too much debt, they have too many problems, and their problems will become yours if you partner with them or if you join them. This is very important also in your personal life. I want you to think of this. Negative people, anxious people, unlucky people, slow people, insolvent people. Those are the first top five. Let's talk about some more. People to avoid, dishonest people. I wrote a lot about this one because it's very important to identify a dishonest person because they don't appear clearly dishonest in the beginning. As a matter of fact, some of them are such good con artists that they have a modus operandi that works for them. Dishonest people have stories that don't verify, that don't jive. Usually when I meet with people, I try to meet them twice. I actually meet, take notes, or actually I tell them, hey, can we audio tape this because I have so much going on, can we? And then I listen to the tape later and ask them the same questions in another meeting, preferably a few days later. I said, so what happened with the property you had under contract? And now the second story they're telling me about the same thing is different. Their stories don't jive and don't align. They're incongruent. What they think, how they feel, what they say, and what they do are not aligned. You can immediately sense it. Especially when you establish the baseline of the communication, tell them to talk about something they're comfortable with, then all of a sudden you throw something they're stressed about, their voice changes, their method changes, their intonation, their speed, etc. You can quickly identify this honest person from one or two conversations if you're really tuned in and paying attention, and you trust but verify. Trust but verify. And how do you verify? You keep a good log of what they said and what they're gonna do, and you see the gap between the reality of what they're saying and the reality of the execution of what they're talking about. They're inconsistent. They're unreliable. Oh, I'm gonna be there at 10 o'clock, 10:30, you're calling him, he's stuck in traffic. Well, couldn't you plan a little better? That person is not reliable. They ask you for confidential. They always, an individual who is dishonest will start telling you things like, this is very confidential, this is very secretive, let's close the door, I'm going to tell you something, but don't tell it. What the heck is going on? Everything is secretive about this world? Oh, I'm going to have an opportunity, but don't share it with anybody. Well, if it's such a good opportunity, why don't you file it with a private placement memorandum, file it with the SEC, and start pitching it to the world, and go right with what is allowed to be done based on the compliance with the Securities and Exchange Commission if you're raising capital. Why the confidentiality? They also try to rush you. You need to do this right now. No, this is not going to last till tomorrow. Well, give me time to think. Let me sleep on it. Let me assess it. Let me go verify the facts and the figures. See, they don't want you to do that. As a matter of fact, a clear way for me to weed out the dishonest people from the honest people who want to do business with me is, for example, I tell them right away, okay, based on what you said, let me verify this and that. Okay, you said I'm buying the apartment building, you said the trash is this, the cost is that, and the common areas is this, and utilities. Let me see the receipts. Oh, how come it's higher than you said? Oh, that was an anomaly. Let me see the month before. Let me see the year before. How come you're saying this? And then all of a sudden they're going to say to you, don't worry about it. They will either blow off or they will even add some more lines. What I try to do with these people is I say, okay, let's put it in writing and let me have a collateral. Let me get something to secure the money that you're telling me you can do this. In my fund, when people invest with me, we give them a promissory note, we're filed with the SEC, we show complete transparency. So when I do a business with somebody, I expect them to do the same with me. Show me where is the collateral, where is the promissory note, where is this and that. I want the commitment in writing, you need to sign. And sometimes they want to rush you and tell you, give me the money, I'll give you crazy returns, right? Crazy returns. You give me this, I give you that. You give me the money, I'll give you 20%. Okay, I'm willing to do it. 20% in 90 days? Show me. Oh, they can show me. No, it's confidential, I can't tell you this. Okay, you said that you have a property that's worth $2 million. Show me. Oh no, it's confidential, it's not an anonymous setup and all this. You know what? It's all BS. Avoid these dishonest people. Save them from themselves by telling them, this is gonna get you, this is a problem, get away with it. You can't get away with it, get out of it. Number 7, jealous people who are greedy. They are obvious to identify because when you tell them your success, they don't jive with it. They don't acknowledge it very much. They have facial grimace or expression that they're not so happy for you for succeeding. These jealous people are usually greedy. They want to eat the whole pie. They're very competitive. You can see it immediately. Tell them a story about another third-party thing that did this and that. They'll say, do this to them. Attack them. They're constantly very competitive without any level of cooperation. They're narcissistic. It's big ego. It's me. Constantly thinking they're the best, want to be the best. If you're better than them, somebody else better than them, they want to copy, they want to do it, they want to cut them off. They refuse to share with clarity. If you ask them, oh, so how did you do this? They'll give you an idea. So what lender did you use? Oh, I don't have the name of the lender. They don't want to help and be helped. They don't want to do what's called an exchange of value. Any relationship is built on an exchange of value. I offer you this, what do you offer me back? I'm not going to give without asking back, so if something happens that is wrong, I have nobody to blame by me. Maybe I didn't clarify what I expect back. And these type of people will want you to do something but will not reciprocate. Be very careful of jealous and greedy people. They will cause you problems. You will end up having lawsuits and issues. Number 8, fanatic people who discriminate. I don't want to deal with this guy because he did this. I don't want to deal with this person because they're this color, or they're that way, or they're this way. You know what? In this world today, you're going to have this mentality of discrimination. You just cut yourself out of the whole world. So Understand this is all human beings that are all trying to succeed, and the more you understand how to work with others and create that commonality and common goal, you'll have more people helping you and you helping them create a bigger pie and succeeding. Those who have that discriminatory mentality or discrimination in their head, or want to be fanatic of whatever, their culture, their background, their color of skin, their religion or whatever, avoid these people. They're not who you want to deal with. They'll cause you nothing but headaches and problems. And even if they try to downplay it, it will show up. It will show up in a confidential talk, in a joke, or in something. Pay very close attention to that. Avoid these type of people. Number 9, those who have low self-esteem. They don't think highly of themselves. They talk like, it just never happened to me. I never won anything. I never had anything. I was never given anything. My ancestors did this, and we came in as that, and we did that, and I had to suffer. You can tell your life story in a very sad way and talk about how you were just a victim of everything in life. Or you can repeat the same story as it's your triumph story and your success. And listen very carefully when somebody has a low self-esteem, when they're sad, because he who is sad and with low morale will have very low energy, will have very low ability to execute on anything. They usually have low interest about life, and I've noticed a common denominator: those who have low self-esteem and low energy, etc., are very disorganized. As a matter of fact, when you organize your desk and you become a minimalist, throw the things you don't need and just stay with what is necessary and needed, and simplify your life, your energy goes up, your interest goes up, and more enthusiastic about life. Anybody that is sad is best to avoid, because that sadness and that low energy level is going to rub off on you. Number 10, and the last one, is whoever is unreasonable. Do not deal with people who are unreasonable. You're going to write contracts, you're going to commit to doing certain things, it's an exchange of value with people, and an unreasonable person will be inflexible when things change. You see, I used to say when I ran hotels, you need a book to run a hotel, but you cannot run the hotel by the book, because you're dealing with people. So sometimes you have to be flexible, you have to change. Same for real estate investing, same for everything in life, even a relationship, a marriage relationship. If the person is reasonable and flexible, and you're able to do that even more than them, give them more and do more and expect something back and explain and work it out, that ability to be reasonable and flexible is gonna grow the relationship and nurture it and help it fix any obstacles, any problems that come up. The person who's unreasonable or inflexible is unpleasant to be around, and usually they become disrespectful as soon as things don't work out. So it's very important to have some chemistry with who you deal with. And now I want you to think of the 10 types of people to avoid, as if it's somebody who's gonna marry your sister or marry your daughter. It's somebody that you're gonna be dealing with as a family member. Somebody coming, let's say my daughter is gonna get married. I'm looking, is that person negative that she chose to be her husband for life? Is he an anxious, desperate type? I don't want him in my life and I want him in her life. Is he an unlucky guy? He's gonna rub off his unluck on her? Is it somebody who is slow? He just does not comprehend, does not have interest in life? Is it somebody insolvent, coming in bankrupt and with problems in life? Is it a dishonest person? I don't want him to be around us. Is it a jealous, greedy person who's going to create problems because anything she does is going to be jealous about it? Is it a fanatic, and somebody that discriminates, will not appreciate our mixed cultures and the way the world is working? Is it somebody with low self-esteem, doesn't think highly of himself, is sad? Would I want this person in my environment, in her environment? Is it an unreasonable person who's going to be inflexible about all the changes that happen in life? That's not the person we want in our personal life. It's not somebody we want in our business life. It's not my business to tell my daughter what to do or who to choose. It is my business, however, to teach her about what's out there so I can raise her judgment skills and raise her ability to communicate with people and exchange value and choose the right people to be around her, like I choose the good business people to be around myself. That's how I had a successful relationship with my personal life, in my business life. And I'm not telling you it's all perfect. We meet some people that we'll have disagreement with, but if we are flexible enough and we're honest and transparent about what we want to do, at the end we all win, and you get the bad people out of your life and those people that you don't want, so you continue moving forward with high energy, with clarity in your mind and good power to be able to execute. Thank you so much, and I hope this will help you on avoiding the wrong people and getting them out of your life fast. Thank you.
Jump into commercial real estate and begin your investment journey with Cherif Medawar. Apply for CRE Mastermind. Click the link in description.